Hi, thanks for clicking the video and welcome to Tech Solutions. In today's video, we will create some VLANs like we have VLAN 10, 20 and 30 and we will name them as red, green, blue, and this is the network we will use in each VLAN, and we will use our router for intercommunication between these VLANs and our DHCP server to provide IP addresses to the clients in these VLANs. And these are some basic tasks that we will complete before we start configuring the actual configuration. So without any further delay, let's start the configuration of our switch. So first take it on the console. Okay, click enter a few times. So the first task that we will do according to our task, we have to change the host name. For that we will go into the enable and configure terminal. Okay, and change the host name to JLD SW01, and we have changed it. Now we will secure our enable mode. Enable modes means this arrow you see here. This arrow sees here you have very limited privilege. Okay, and you are in an enable mode. Okay, and when you type in the command enable, it will take you to a privilege mode and the prompt change to the pound or hash symbol. It means you have more privilege over the commands that you can perform on this switch. So we will secure this mode by using the password of Cisco 123. uh, as you notice that I have typed in the command enable, but it did not ask me for any password because there is no any. So let's secure our privilege mode. Okay, so for that we will use the command enable enable. We will use the command enable, and when you type in the command enable and after you use the question mark, you have two options mainly to secure the privilege mode with the password and secret. When you use the password command, the password is stored in a clear text in the running configuration or the read-only configuration, boot configuration. When you use the secret, it is encrypted with the MD5 hash. Okay, so we will use a secure method, or I will show you both that how they work. So enable password, and the password is Cisco123, and enter. Now if I exit and exit one more time and press enter again, now if I type enable here, it asks me for the password that I have just set. This is Cisco123, press enter, and I am in the privilege mode. So if I type in show running configuration, and you see the password is stored in the clear text, which is not a secure way to use this. So if anybody is looking behind, you can easily see the password and use this password to log in to your device. So let's use a more secure method for securing our privilege mode. So for this we will go back again to the global configuration mode here by using the command configure terminal, and first we will remove this command. Okay, to delete any command you use the no keyword before that, and the command is cleared. Now we will secure it with the more secure method, enable secret and Cisco 123, and press enter. Now if I go back now and I type here enable and use Cisco 123 is our password. I am successfully logged in, but when I do show running configuration, sorry, show running configuration and press enter, I see the password before was in clear text, now is encrypted with some form of hash. So this is the more secure way of securing your privilege mode with the secure password. Now we will secure our console line and telnet line. Okay, um, we have completed this task. So if I go back, press enter here. Suppose if I go back now to my exit, when I press enter, it did not ask me for any password on the console. Okay, here it says this is my host name and the console 0 is now available, means this line. Okay, but when I press enter, it took straight me into the prompt where I enter the enable password and enter my device. So now we will secure our console and line so that it will ask for the password when somebody connect to our router or a switch over the console and telnet. So for that we will go into the again enable my password for the privilege mode, and we will go into the global configuration mode for using the by using the command configure terminal, and now here we use the command line console. Okay, line console and question mark. Currently there is only one console line, that is 0, this line. So we will use the same line console 0, press enter, and the password for this is we have console 123. Okay, and press enter, and we will also set the execute timeout. So if I'm not doing anything, it will not kick me out. uh, okay, for some time. I have set it to the 30 minutes, and one more command, that is logging synchronous. Okay, and press enter. What does logging synchronous do? Sometimes you are typing commands and there are some status messages that come on console and cut your command what you're typing. So in logging synchronous, it will replace the same command on the console. So this configuration is done. Now if I go back and and exit and press enter, now it says the uh, this is my switch host name and this is my console. Now it says it is available, but when what will happen if I press enter and it did not ask me for the password even though I have set it. Okay, so to find out the reason, we will do our enable mode privilege mode, my password. Now show running configuration, and I will filter it by section line, and as you can see, this is our console line, and I have set the execute timeout, and uh, another way it is idle timeout, and the password and the locking synchronous, both of the three commands here. But the one command that is missing here is the login. Okay, the login command is missing here. Without that command, it will not ask you for the password when you log into the console. So we will go back to our global configuration mode, config terminal, line console 0, and I will type in the command login and exit. Okay, so now let's go back and now again it shows that the console 0 is available. Now let's press enter to see what happened this time. Now it asks me for the password for the console, not the privilege password. So console, we set the password console 123 and press enter. Now I am logged in to the our and I'm logged into my switch. So let's go back to the privilege mode and global configuration mode and secure our telnet lines as well. Enable Cisco 123 and configure terminal line VTY. These are the lines that are used to telnet into the device. Okay, and somebody connect to the telnet, these are the lines will be used. So there are 0 to 1500 lines, but we will configure only 0 to 15, and these are total 16 lines. It is up to you how many lines do you want to configure, and press login. Okay, now it says the login disabled on line, and these are the line number. Okay, until the password is set. Nobody can log into the VTY lines or telnet to the system until I set the password. Okay, so let's set the password telnet. So the password is, the keyword is password, and the password is telnet 123, and we also set the exit or idle timeout to 30 minutes and logging synchronous. Logging synchronous and exit. Let's view the configuration. Show running configuration. Okay, show running configuration, and I would like to view the section line, filter the output, and these are the commands that we have set. This is for the console, this is for the VTY line from 0 to 4. Total 5 lines are here, and 5 to 15 the remaining lines. So we have done host name, we have secured our enable or privilege mode, and we have secured our console or telnet line. Now encrypt console and telnet password. So what does this mean? So if I do show running configuration, and there is no need to do the show running configuration because I see that show running configuration section line. Okay, it will only show me the output of lines. Okay, line console 0, and my password is clearly visible. Okay, anybody who is looking over my shoulder can see the password and log in to my device. So what we will do some encryption. We will enable encryption in the system, so it will store these passwords in encrypted format. So next time I view, nobody can guess what the password is. So for that, uh, we will go to global configuration mode and enable service password encryption. Okay, the command to encrypt the password is service password encryption. Let me move it aside. Okay, so command is service password encryption. Now go, if I go back and do show running configuration and filter the output by section line, now the password is encrypted with this level 7 encryption. Okay, it is not a strong encryption, still can be break, but still better than storing password in our clear text format. So we have done up to the point 4. Now assign IP address to computers from 192 168.20 and this network and checked connectivity between these computers. So we will assign IP address to this computer. Okay, 192.168 and it is 28.1. Okay, like we will assign 10 to this, 20 to this, and 30 to this computer. Okay, and check the connectivity. So to sign in the IP address, we will open the console. Excuse me. And IP, if I do a question mark and enter, and this is the command that we will use to assign IP address to the system. IP 192.168.28.10 by 24, and this is the gateway. Currently for testing we don't need the gateway, and enter. It is checking for the duplicate IP address, and the IP address is successfully assigned. Let's assign the IP address to other computers as well. IP 192.168.28.20 by 24, and IP is assigned, and now let's assign IP to our third computer. IP 192.168.28.30 by 24. Now the IP is assigned, so let's do a ping between VLAN 10 computer. Currently there are no VLAN, all of the systems are in VLAN 1, the default VLAN. So let's do the pinging. Yes, so what is happening, the PC10 can the PC30 can ping to PC10, and or another says PC, this is PC1 and this is PC2, this is PC3. So the PC3 can ping to PC1 and vice versa. So, and we can also ping the PC20. This is because all of the computers are in the same VLAN. If I go back to my switch and execute a command show MAC address table, I can see the entries of these computer MAC address. All of the systems are in the same VLAN, and these are the MAC address, and the MAC address is dynamically learned, and the MAC address is learned on these ports. Okay, these are the ports where it has learned the MAC address. This port is connected to the router. It is also showing here. So by default, all of these computers are in the VLAN 1. They are able to communicate. Now we will move to next step. We'll create VLAN 10, VLAN 10, 20, 30, and name as red, green, blue, and assign PC1 to PC1 to VLAN 10, PC2 to VLAN 20, excuse me, and VLAN 3 and PC3 to VLAN 30. So let's do it. I'm back into my switch console, clear my screen, and for that we again go back to the global configuration mode, configure terminal, and command to create a VLAN is VLAN 10. Now the VLAN 10 is created, but it is not yet saved into the configuration. So VLAN 10 name is red, and VLAN 20, and the name is green, and VLAN 30 name is blue. These VLANs will be added to the system as soon as I exit from the VLAN configuration mode. Okay. As I type in the command VLAN 10 or say VLAN 10, it moves me into the VLAN configuration mode. Okay. These VLANs will be saved when you type in the exit command. Now the VLANs are saved into the switch. Let's view it. Show VLAN brief and enter. So the default VLAN, we have VLAN 1 and it is active, and currently all of the ports are assigned to VLAN 1. That's why these PCs were able to communicate each other. And the other reason was all of the systems have the same subnet IP address. So this is our VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 30, named red, green, blue. The VLANs are active, but currently there is no any port. Okay, no port assigned to it. So let's assign ports to these VLANs. For that, we will go back to the global configuration mode, configure terminal. Okay. Now we go back to the interface that we want to assign to the VLAN. So the computer, the PC10, okay, sorry, the PC1 is connected to interface gigabit 1, and PC2 connected to interface gigabit 3, and PC3 connected to interface gigabit 3. Sorry, this is connected to 2. Okay, this one. Okay, so we go back here and go to the interface configuration mod, interface gigabit 0/1. Okay, and the current mode of the this port is, let's go back to show interface gigabit 0/1, and show IP interface gigabit 0/1. The input access is not, the protocol is up. Okay, show interface gigabit 0/1 switch port is the command. So as you can see, uh, the mode is static access, it is okay, and administrative mode is dynamic auto. Okay, when it is set to the trunk mode, you cannot assign it into the specific VLAN, because trunk is for all VLANs. Okay, all VLAN traffic can carry via the trunk ports. So make sure what mode our port is running. So let's go back to our port. Configure terminal. Okay, interface gigabit 0/1 switch port mode access. Okay, I will hard code it so it won't change from access to the trunk port even when it connect to the switch. So now the mode is switch port. Now switch port access VLAN, and the VLAN I want to assign it to the VLAN 10, and it is done. Now before this computer, okay, the PC, this is our PC3. Okay, PC3, and before we were able to ping from PC3 to PC1, but let's see now if we can do this, because we have changed the VLAN. No. Okay, because we have moved the system to a different VLAN, and you cannot communicate between the VLAN without a router. This is what happened. VLANs create a multiple broadcast domain. Okay, now these are on the different VLANs. We cannot communicate. For that, we need a router. So go back to my switch configuration, and I'm back to my switch. If I go back here and do show VLAN brief, sorry, type brief, and now you can see that the port 1 is assigned to the VLAN 10. This is why the communication between the VLANs is stopped, even though I have assigned the same subnet IP address to all the systems. Okay, and if I go show, if I view the MAC address table of this computer right now, show MAC address table, if it is now timed out, it is timed out. Let me bring in the PC one again and do something. Populate the MAC address table 192.168.28 dot I would say 20, and okay, so it has now. Let's view the MAC address table now. Now you can see that the port 10 is in the VLAN, sorry, port 1 is in the VLAN 10, and this is the MAC address and dynamically learned. These both systems can communicate because they are in the same VLAN, but we will move these ports to their respective VLANs. So let's do it and complete the task. Configure terminal and interface gigabit 0/2 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 20 exit interface gigabit 0/3 switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 30 exit show VLAN brief, and we have assigned all of these ports into their respective VLANs. Okay, now the communication between these two is disabled because they are in different VLAN. Now let's move to our next step. Okay, we have done up to here. Okay, check the operating mode of link connected to the router and change to trunk if required. Okay, so let's see the current operating mode between the link that is connected to the router from the switch. We are talking about this link. To carry a multi VLAN traffic, the link is should be the trunk. Okay, other vendor call it tagged port. Okay, if it is access, the access port can be assigned to only one VLAN. Okay, it cannot carry traffic of a multiple VLANs. So make sure our PCs can communicate between communicate each other. We use this as a trunk, and we will use this router for uh, forwarding traffic between these VLANs. So let's view the current configuration of this switch port 1. Okay, sorry, switch port 0. Show um, interface gigabit 0/0 and switch port. Okay, this switch port command will give you the layer 2 configuration of that switch port. The current mode is dynamic auto. Okay, there are some protocols that can automatically negotiate and move this port to a trunk port. This is what that means. That is TTP. This protocol is used for this, and The current mode is static access, means the link between the switch and router is operating on a static and it is assigned to VLAN 1 only. So our computers in different VLANs can communicate by using the router. We move this port to the trunk port. Okay, we will switch it into the trunk port. For that, we'll go back into the global configuration mode, interface, global, sorry, and interface gigabit 0 oblique 0 and the switch port mode trunk. Maybe it will give me some error. Okay, as I expected. It says the encapsulation is auto and cannot configure to trunk mode. This is because there are two protocols that are used to carry multi-VLAN over the links. The first one is the ISL. This is Cisco protocol. This means inter-switch link. And there is another one is dot 1Q. Okay, this is the industry standard protocol supported by all vendors. So because it is auto means it will negotiate between other end to which protocol to use. So that's why the mode is cannot change to the trunk. So first we have to choose one of these protocol, then we will change to the trunk mode. Okay. So for that we'll go back to our console. So switch port encapsulation. So okay, switch port trunk and the word is encapsulation and there are two. Okay, currently it's set to negotiated, that's why it gives me an error, and these are the protocol that's I was talking about. So we will use the dot 1Q, the industry standard. Okay, dot 1Q and switch port mode trunk and exit. Now verify the same, show interface gigabit 0 oblique 0 and switch port configuration I want to view. Sorry, before the encapsulation was the mode was the dynamic auto. Now it changed to the dot 1 Q and the operation mode is dot 1 Q, means it is operating in trunk mode. Okay, now we have done our all of the steps that we can perform on this switch. Okay, now let's move to the router configuration and complete this lab. Sorry. Let's bring our router. It is just booted. Press no here. Let's move a little bit down. Okay, now the router is booting. The currently first task we have to change the host name. For that we will go into the enable configure terminal and the host name is JLD. Press tab to reprint the again SW and 01. Okay, sorry, this is wrong, this is R1, sorry. And the next task is to secure the enable or so secure the privilege mode. So I have type in wrong here. Okay, please ignore it. Enable secret and the password is Cisco 123, and now we will secure our lines. Line console 0 login and logging synchronous and execute timeout is 30 minutes, and the password is console 123, and exit. You can type in the commands in any order. Okay, line vty 0 to 15, and login, and password is telnet 123, and logging synchronous, and execute timeout 30 minutes, and exit. Okay, we have done these steps up to here. Okay, this we have done up to here. Now configure interface gigabit 0 interface to automatically receive an IP address from the ISP. Okay, so that we will go into the interface gigabit 0/0 and IP address DHCP, and we will do some description connected to the internet, and let's bring this interface up by using the no shutdown command. Exit. The interface is coming up. Done. Okay, let's do the configuration, and if it receives an IP address, show IP interface brief, and it is set to DHCP, but currently did not receive any IP. Show running configuration interface mm, configuration interface gigabit 0/0. Yes, it is, and there is no shutdown command is also executed, but it did not get an IP address. Let's check. Okay, actually this is set to the bridge mode, that's why it is not receiving. I must have set to the other. So let's go back to our global configuration mode, interface gigabit 0/0, and shutdown. I hope it will work, otherwise I have to restart my router. No shutdown. Up. Let's wait for some time. Show IP interface brief. Okay, it did not still did not get the IP address because before it was in a bridge mode, and I have changed it to the management mode so it can receive IP address from my router. Because the lab is already running, it will not take the effect. I have to shut down my router and start it again to receive it an IP address for. But before that, I will save my configuration. Copy running configuration to startup configuration. Enter. Yes. Okay. Now I will shut down my router. Stop it. Delete it. I will create a new node. Sorry, a new network, and it is in bridge. Rename it to the internet and click OK, and reconnect it to my router 0/0. Bring this router up. Bring me the console. Okay, the image is pretty heavy, so it is taking time to boot. Okay, now the password is console123 for the console, and enable, and the password is Cisco123. I hope I have typed in the right. Yes. Show IP interface brief, and currently all the interfaces are in down state. Show running configuration, interface gigabit 0/0, and yes, it is received to it is set to receive IP address from the DHCP, but the current state is shut down. This is why it says the administratively down. Let's bring this interface up. Config terminal, interface gigabit 0/0, no shutdown, and see if now it can get an IP address from my router, and the status changed from to up. Okay, from down to up. Okay, as I can see, it has received an IP address from my local home router, and let's view it again. Show IP interface brief. Now the interface is up and have an IP address 192.168.27.139, and show IP route. Let's view the router, what routes it have. Okay, it has a route to this network, and it is also has a default route for the internet access. Whenever we set an interface to receive an IP address from the DHCP server, it will also add a static default route to get to the internet from that configuration. So let's view if we can ping to the Google from this. And yes, so our router has an internet access. Now let's configure interface 2. Okay, and we have done up to here, point 4. Now configure interface gigabit 2 interface with an IP address so it can communicate with my DHCP server. For that, we will go back to the interface configuration mode, configure terminal, interface gigabit 0/2, and the interface is gigabit oblique 2, and IP address is 172.16.1.1, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255. It is class C subnet mask, and the description, okay, the description is connected to DHCP. What is happening? DHCP server, enter, and no shutdown to bring this interface up. Exit, exit, and ping 172.16.1.10. This is my DHCP server. Let's see if I can get there. And yes, I can get to my DHCP server. So we have done the configuration for this interface. Now we will configure this interface for router on a stick configuration, so that our systems can ping each other within the different VLANs. We can create a communication. So for that, we'll go into the global configuration mode again, and interface configuration of 0/1, and currently we will not do any configuration. In this, we will go into the sub mode. So interface gigabit 0/1 and dot, and press the number you want to create the interface. It will create a .10 sub interface. Okay, and press enter. Now here we have to set the encapsulation .1q, and it will respond to VLAN 10. Okay, so this is interface is for the VLAN 10. it will respond to the traffic that will be generated by this VLAN. So this interface will respond to that VLAN. So that VLAN is VLAN 10. So let's press enter and we will assign an IP address from the VLAN 10, this VLAN, okay, 192.168.10.1, and the class C subnet mask, and no shutdown, even though there is no need for this one because it will not affect here. Now let's create an interface for the VLAN 20. Okay, this number can be anything. Okay, this number doesn't have to match with the VLAN number. It was just for our own convenience so we can identify easily. I'm using the same number as my VLAN. It can be a different number. Okay, encapsulation dot one queue, and it will respond to VLAN 20, and the IP address of the VLAN 20 is 192.168, and this is 20. Okay, first valid host address will be used, and no shutdown, exit, and go back to the interface configuration of 30 and encapsulation dot one queue, and it will respond to VLAN 30, and the IP address is 192.168.30.1, and the IP subnet mask, no shutdown. Even though I'm typing the no shutdown command, it is not taking effect because I have to the physical interface is currently shut down. I have to bring that interface up so this interfaces can go up. Okay, so interface gigabit 0/1 no shutdown, exit. Now if I go back to show IP interface brief and come here, now that you can see that this is the main physical interface, and currently I did not assign IP address here. Okay, it is unassigned, but I have to turn this interface on so the interfaces below this can come up. Okay, I have created interface dot 10, 20, and 34 each VLAN, and assigned an first valid IP address of each VLAN subnet 10, 20, and 30. Okay, now uh, these systems can ping, okay, with each other, but currently let's go back to our systems, okay, and assign IP address from each VLAN. So PC3 is actually PC1. I'll go here and IP and 192 168 10 dot let's say this will be my 10, and this is the subnet mask. Enter, checking for the duplicate IP address, and IP is assigned successfully, and PC4 is actually my PC2 of VLAN 20, IP 192.168.20 dot I will assign an IP address of 20 with the subnet mask of 24. Okay, go back to PC5. This is actually PC3, IP 192.168 and 30.30 by 24, and it is checking for the duplicate IP. Now if I go back to my PC1 and ping 192.168.10.1, I can get to the default gateway. Okay, same if I go back here 192.168.30.1, I can get to the default gateway. And where is my PC4? Okay. One more thing that I forget to assign is the default gateway, because without that they cannot communicate with the other network, our systems. So let's assign that to 192.168.20.1 is my gateway. And I'll go back to my PC1 and type in the gateway for the system as well. And here 192.168.30.1. Okay. Now go back to PC1 and let's see if now I can communicate between each VLAN devices. So this is my default gateway. Okay, let's ping. Okay, I can ping to my default gateway. And let's see if I can ping to 20.1, the default gateway of the VLAN 20. And yes, we can, because it is directly connected to the router. So how actually the traffic is going? When this system sends a ping request, it enter into this VLAN. Okay, and because this switch has a MAC address table, it knows where the traffic is going. It will pass to the sub interface of the router that we have created .10. Okay, and that route, when it enters to the router knows how to get to the 192.168.20.0 network, because it is directly connected to this router, and it is sending a ping request back to the system. Now let's do a ping to the computer in VLAN 20. And yes, we can we are able to ping. The traffic is going from here to the router and going to the PC in VLAN 20 and going back from here to there. Okay, now let's see if we can ping the computers in VLAN 30. And yes, we are able to successfully communicate with the devices in each VLAN with the help of router. Okay, so this is the router on a stick configuration that we have done. Now we will do, instead of using the manual IPs, we will create scopes in our DHCP server and use a helper address in each subnet or a relay agent, so these computers can receive IP address from our DHCP server. The first time for that, the first thing that we will do, let's verify that our router can communicate with my DHCP server. So for that 192.160, I think the IP address is, I have set 172.16.1.10 is my DHCP server. Okay, there is a mistyping. Go back. It is 172, not 71. Yes, I can. Now let's go to our interface configurations, sub interface configuration. Okay, configure terminal interface 0/1.10. Okay, sorry, I forget to type in the type of the interface. It is gigabit. And IP helper address. Helper address is actually the command that set the relay agent in Cisco routers. So the helper address is 172.16.1.10 and press enter. Exit. Now go back to the sub interface of 20 and IP helper address. Now go back to the sub interface of 30 and IP helper address. Done. Okay. So what will happen when this computer sends, or this any computer sends a DHCP discover message? By default it is a broadcast. When it hit this router, okay, this router will create a unicast communication between this server and send it back to the offer request and acknowledge messages. So this computer will have an IP address from the pool that I will create on my DHCP server. Now that I have set a relay IP address, let's configure scopes in my DHCP server. For that, I will go into my VMware. This is my Windows DHCP server. First, let's clear my window. Okay, admin, and this is my server IP address, and I'll go back to my server manager, DHCP server. Okay, and click on tools. Here, choose the DHCP, and currently this is the IPv4. This is for the IPv4 scopes, and this is for IPv6 scopes. We will add IPv4 scope. So right click on select new scope, click next, and the scope name is 192.168.10 net. Okay, and it is I will type in description for VLAN 10 next, and the start IP address is 192.168.10.1, and the end IP is 192.168.10.254, and it has automatically picked up the subnet mask. Click next, and exclusion range is 192.168.10.100, sorry, from 1, or I will just use I will just add this IP address to exclusion because this is assigned to my router. Click next, and this is release hours. You can change it. Yes. The default gateway option, what default gateway do you want to assign? And this is my default gateway for VLAN 10. Click next, and this is the parent domain name, and this is for the DNS. I will remove this and use Google DNS instead of my local server DNS, and click next for this one and activate the scope. Make sure you can deactivate the scope. Now let's go create scope for the other VLANs as well. 192.168.20.20 net for VLAN 20. Next, the IP address is range is 20.1 and 192.168.20.254. Next, I want to exclude this address only because it is assigned to my router, and I do not want it to assign to the computers. Next, and the default gateway is for the VLAN 20 is 20.1. Add it. Next, and remove this, and I will use this as my DNS server. Click next, scope, finish. Okay, now I have created two scopes. Now I will create another scope, new scope. Next, 192.168.30 net, and for VLAN 30. Next, my start IP range is 10 and 192.168.30.254. It has automatically picked up the subnet for this one, and for exclusion I will exclude my router IP address. Add it and click next, and these hours are the same. Yes, I want to set other options, and my default gateway for this VLAN is this. And next, I'll remove my server as a DNS. I will assign Google as a DNS. Yeah, you can add as many you want. Restart. the scope. Okay, now that I have created these scopes, I have three scopes, but what happened to this scope? I see some question mark here. Okay, the scope is active. Nice. Now we go back to our topology, and as we have already set helper address on here, all the sub interfaces .10, .20 and 30. Let's see if our computers now can have IP address from our DHCP server. So we will go back to PC1, IP DHCP. Let's see. Yes, it our DORA is successful, and now it has an IP address from the VLAN 10. Okay, and this is a discover, offer, request, and acknowledge message, and this system has received the IP configuration from my DHCP server. So let's go back to other systems and see if they can receive the IP address. Before that, I have set an IP address uh, for different. Okay, before I have set the IP address to 10.10, but now it has received an IP address 10.2 from my pool. Now go back to my PC2 VLAN 20 PC and IP DHCP. Done. Okay, now it has received an IP address from my DHCP server as well. Now let's go back to our last PC. It is PC5. In other ways, it is PC3 because I forget to rename these. So IP DHCP and press enter so it can receive an IP address from my DHCP server. Right, correct. So all of my systems have received IPs from the DHCP server within their respective VLANs. The scope I have created. So let's go back to my DHCP server, and if I click here an address pool and leases, this is the IP address that is assigned in to the computer in each pool. Okay, and here. So all of these systems have an successfully IP address. Let's see if we can do inter VLAN communication. I will go to my PC1. PC1 is 192.168. Let's ping the PC2. Yes, we can ping. And PC3, yes, we can ping. Now let's see if we can ping to the 8.8.8. This is our Google, and yes, we are able to get to the Google as well. So friends, this was how we have do some basic configuration and do VLANs and do router on a stick configuration uh, in our real network. Okay, the same concepts are applied to the real network. It cannot resolve, okay, because these are dummy PCs and do not have DNS configured. So guys, thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe it. Thank you very much.